What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday evening. Hope you're having a good start to your week. And tonight I've got a pretty good episode for you. I've got a lot to go over once again. And not only that, the market's up. So how about we dive right in? Let's see here. There we go. The market's up this morning after Bitcoin ran to like 107K yesterday. This morning, it dropped down to like 102, but up 55 or 105.6. So not too bad. Looking good there. I have a couple different Bitcoin and altcoin things I do want to check out quick with you guys because I thought this was pretty interesting. For many, many years, Jamie Dimon has been the world's biggest Bitcoin critic, right? I mean, other than basically Peter Schiff, it was Jamie Dimon. So Jamie Dimon has flipped the switch, but not entirely. He says that he's going to allow JP Morgan to start buying Bitcoin. Well, not the bank, but its clients, right? In the past, I know people who have had their accounts shut down for interacting with crypto. And not only that, you've got different it's just not a good situation entirely with JP Morgan, but they're changing that. JP Morgan is one of the largest banks in the world, so this is going to be a big deal. He's stated in the past that he's had a lot of big clients, high net worth clients that wanted to get involved in Bitcoin, but he just said no. So there could be a huge amount of money that's coming in there. Looks like we got Chester. They love the hat. Appreciate it, Chester. Crypto Kid Marketing. What's going on? Appreciate it. Got a couple more Bitcoin things though. Obviously, the train's not stopping. It's not stopping anytime soon. We've got fintech firm Digisaia. They're going to buy $100 million, and it doubled their stock price. So we're going to keep seeing that. It's happening all around the world. We've had the first public company in Brazil start a Bitcoin treasury. They're in Hong Kong. They're in China. They're in Japan. They're going to be starting in Russia soon too, it looks like. So it's just everywhere. And it's going to keep spreading like wildfire. But other than that, the big news of basically today, last night, has been Cardano. And I want to preface this that I do understand that the person that is making this rumor is the same one that tried to DDoS Cardano at one point in time. It's not really a reputable source, but however, he does lay it out, and it convinced enough people to where Charles stepped in and had to do something about it. What am I talking about? This guy here, Masteo Alexander, is basically accusing Cardano or Charles Hoskinson essentially of stealing or misplacing 312 million ADA. So yeah, obviously that's bad. It happened during a hard fork at one point in time. And they're saying, oh, it just magically disappeared. The Genesis block was rewritten, etc. Right? Well, Charles Hoskinson comes out and he obviously denies this. Charles Hoskinson is a billionaire. I'm pretty sure that he's not a billionaire from stealing that ADA, but he doesn't really need the money that he would have supposedly stolen, right? So as a response, and I'm sorry, it was 600 million in ADA. Yeah, so it was like 312 million ADA or so, something like that. But I mean, he'll say down here, 318 million ADA. My bad, 312, 318, about the same. But he obviously fully denies taking it, and he's already hired an independent firm to handle a full audit on Cardano and the blockchain. So I don't think Charles did it, but it's the big news of the day. He also came out, and I think this is going to be pretty sad actually, because Charles Hoskinson is like basically the biggest project leader that is extremely, I wouldn't say transparent, but tries to interact with the community a lot. I think he is pretty transparent, but at the same time, there's obviously a lot of things he can't say or whatever, but he's always doing this AMAs that he hops on YouTube and he'll chat with everybody, answer things in the comments. He's always doing Twitter threads or responding to people or voicing things that he doesn't agree with or whatever it may be. And he's basically saying that due to this and due to the people that haven't backed him during this like accusation, that he's going to essentially change how he operates. He's going to hire a media team to handle his Twitter. He's going to stop doing the AMAs so much and the X spaces and basically just distance himself from people because, you know, of all the people in the Cardano ecosystem, or not the Cardano ecosystem, in the crypto ecosystem as a whole, Charles Hoskinson really does get it more than anybody else. Somebody's always going after Charles. So I feel for him with that. But moving away from altcoins, hey, Danny the Bull, what's going on, man? Yeah, I love this hat, and I just keep pulling it out lately. I love it. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Big Red has a race tomorrow. And also, guys, if you're watching here on YouTube and you are not familiar with Danny the Bull, go to his YouTube channel. He did do a video earlier. Check him out. Great guy, great info. Especially he did one with Ron earlier. And I'm going to start doing a weekly show with Ron here soon too. So obviously, definitely agree with that. But bringing it to memes, what the rest of the things I want to talk about is Big Red. They do have a race tomorrow. So they had the race over the weekend, couple day break. And now we've got Beantown Babe back on the track tomorrow. And that is tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. So that'll be exciting. As always, I will be in there with the community, hanging out, and hopefully watching another W. Lion Heartitude, can I finance your project? I don't think so. But I thought this was pretty crazy. This is an article I came across today, and it's just blasphemy. Like how these people, one, get away with it, and the audacity to even say such a thing. So the creator of 100 meme coins says that crypto, or that rug pulls, are the easiest way to make money in crypto. I'm not going to disagree with that necessarily, but it's obviously unmoral, unethical, just wrong. You're stealing from people. There's many things wrong with it. But of course, this is Sahil that is saying it. So this is the guy that's behind basically all of the X rug pulls that we saw over like the past 2 years. Not only that, the Hawk to a Girl one. Yeah, there's been too many to name. Caitlyn Jenner, so many of them that he has been the one behind. And he is extremely proud about this. So proud about it that he says, at least in the casino, that 60% of the time the house wins. In this case, doing what he's doing, the house is going to win 99% of the time. And then he goes on to say, if you don't get rugged by me, you're probably going to get rugged by someone else. So you might as well get rugged by someone with a track record of success. What? Like the audacity of this guy. So he's made it clear that he's still out there rugging coins. There was one very recently that I wanted to pull up at one point, but I didn't. Actually, it's one that we're going to talk about tonight. And not only that, there was Broccoli. He was behind one of the Broccolis that rugged that CZ actually promoted and didn't realize that it was him, even though he used the same wallet he used on a prior rug pull. So people like this are the type of people that basically ruined the meme coin space. But obviously, it's still profitable for them. They're going to keep doing it. It's on us to do our due diligence and make sure that we don't fall into their traps. There's ways to spot them. A lot of times, especially when it's the same person doing it over and over again, there's so many patterns you can pick up on. The way the site's built, how it looks, like the design, verbiage in the bio of a Twitter, whatever it may be. And a lot of times, like how he launched the token with the same wallet address that he launched another one that he rugged, sometimes you can just go back and look at the wallets and see how many different projects they've launched, because they don't even care to hide the fact. Another thing that's coming out, and I know this is a couple bad things in a row, but this one could end up good, I guess. And there was rumors that he was behind this one too, Libra, but I think we know that it was that Hayden guy who's like on the run now or whatever. But Libra, the Argentine court is lifting the bank secrecy to probe Malay. I thought that was pretty interesting. I'm not sure what's really going to come of that. I think ultimately, given it's Argentina, they'll probably just take whatever money it was and leave it at that. So we'll see what happens there. And then we've had some political things go on over the weekend. Joe Biden came out and announced that he has prostate cancer, and that pumped his token 42%. So Boden is up 42%. I also saw prostate of the United States. There was a bunch of weird ones, but Boden's the longest standing Biden meme for sure. And it had the smallest of pumps. And then it came back down. I mean, it's Boden. Biden's not in office anymore. About the only thing that can pump the token is that. No good. And then there's another one people have asked many times on stream about. Not only that, I do tend to stay away from the political memes because they don't really have a good life cycle. Look at the Trump one. That one's barely moved in quite some time. But ERICTRUMP, there's been a meme that's been, It even got up to like almost 200 million at one point, but it was hovering around 160 million. I even saw it on Friday when I was looking for stuff to talk about. And I was like, it's crazy. It's still up there. Well, the whole time it was a rug and Sahil was behind it. So that did rug over the weekend. I thought that was unique. So he's like doing articles with news outlets and then at the same time rugging projects, like just no remorse whatsoever. Terrible, terrible life he must live. Maybe not. He brags about making millions. Clifton, what's your thoughts on Brett? Thanks for hopping in. I will talk about Brett because actually it's on something that we're going to talk about, and I'm getting to that. There's a couple more things I want to talk about first. But Trump, this is an interesting one too. So you've got the Trump dinner that's coming up. It's either this week or next week. And it is on, it doesn't say on here. That's crazy. I figured for sure it would say it, but it's definitely this month and it's coming up soon. And it was this huge ordeal because the Secret Service and the White House is like, we can't do this. Like, there's a huge security issue here. And then to tack on top of it, basically all the top holders that basically get to go to this dinner are underwater. So I've also heard though that he might not be there at the same time. So like, it's not even a dinner with Trump necessarily. But why would he want to be there when it's a bunch of people that like are not making money from something he did? Seems like the opposite of what Trump would want to do. But other than that, the majority of the top holders are also not from the USA. So they're like, why would we want to do this? And in some ways, it's starting to look like this isn't even going to happen. I would be surprised if it doesn't, but at the same time, I wouldn't be too terribly surprised either. All right, that's enough of the weird political stuff. But Ponke, another big meme. It's actually not that big, but Ponke, whatever you want to say. They're taking a chapter out of Pudgy Penguins, Baby Snack that I was talking about the other day as well. And then there's a ton of other projects that are starting to do it too. But Pudgy Penguins is doing it to the extent that at my local bowling alley, they are in the claw machine even. So this is how everybody wants to be, and Ponke is doing that. They teamed up with the same guys that did apparel or collectibles or accessories with USC, Naruto, Star Wars, and there's a whole bigger list of them. I wasn't going to bore you guys with the article, but hey, it goes to show you that memes don't necessarily have to provide a utility, but they understand, or they're starting to understand, that they do need the recognition, and ultimately you have to get your name out there and be recognized somehow, right? And a lot of times it's going to be making children toys because that's what meme coins appeal to, the child in us, right? So it makes sense to me. I imagine they'll have some good stuff, but cool. Now, what I did want to talk about is I came across, while I was looking for other stuff to talk about for Cryptos R Us, actually, I came across this article: best low cap meme coins for 100x returns. I didn't watch the video. I didn't even realize it was made after a video until I read the article. And then I stopped reading the article because I realized, hey, we could just go over this. So he's got blue chip meme coins for a 10x return. And by the way, I'll preface this that shockingly, I don't know this channel. I don't know what his opinions are on any of these projects. I might disagree with him. I might not like some of these, but I literally have no clue what he said and how he tried to justify it. And I'm not going to look into it either. So we're just going to talk about the projects on the list and see if they actually can do a 10x, a 100x, or even a 1000x. The one I will not be talking about is the one on the bottom here that is an ICO. That's the only one I'm not going to talk about because we don't talk about ICOs. But first he has on the list is Pepe. Then we got Bonk and Brett. These are the blue chip meme coins primed for 10x returns. Okay, so Pepe is currently at $5.53 billion. We know they're heavily diluted with their holders, right? There's not a large concentration that's held by any one person or anything like that. Their all-time high, 11.9 billion, and that happened in December, the Trump run, as some of them called it. And they basically were all down since, this month, basically. Well, I guess really April 10th, about a month ago. Can they do, we don't, at least this one, we don't need to go all the way through. However, I don't even know if I've ever looked at their website. Also, I did pull up bubble maps. So we'll look at bubble maps for a lot of these too. See, like Pepe doesn't have anything crazy going on. It's just very simple, one pager. A lot of projects should take note about that. But all right, that's their website. We know they have the tons of Twitter followers. And their bubble maps looks like this. Bubble maps actually did an update. So now they're trying to, I haven't been able to figure it out yet, but they have these magic nodes, they're calling them, where they're trying to figure out how truly connected these wallets could be. So like if we turn it off, some of these bubbles, not only one go away, it's not going to take them away. Okay. We'll look at it on another one because they won't be there and we'll hit the button and then like a bigger network of wallets show up. So it's interesting and it's good because they're trying to dive deeper and see how much these projects are connected. And obviously Pepe has a pretty good distribution, even to show up on this list here because of they're looking at the top percentage holders, right? So like they're looking at the top 200 wallets or so, and every single one of those wallets are going to hold millions of dollars. It's just project like Pepe. But the question is, can Pepe go to a 10x? 5.5 billion currently. So we're looking at like 60 billion or 70 billion. I'm going to say Pepe can do a 10x. I think Pepe can do a 10x. I'd say 8 to 10x. Pepe can do an 8 to 10x. All right, that's Pepe. We're done. Bonk. Bonk is the next on our list. So Chester says Bitcoin's at 106.3. I don't have TradingView pulled up because I've got so much other stuff pulled up, but let's pull it up. It's coming back. I think it's going to be a really good week. I think we can see all-time high this week even. Cool. But Bonk. This is another one we don't have to look super in depth in. 1.5 billion. Biggest meme on Solana. I think they're still over Fartcoin by well, not the biggest meme coin on Solana because you have Trump coin. So Trump coin's the new king of Solana. Then it's Bonk. Then whatever I said. Fartcoin. Yeah. So Bonk, I'm going to say right off the jump, though, I do think that Bonk can do a 10x. They sponsor basically every major crypto event there is. They have an endless cash supply, it seems like. They've got almost double the holders of Pepe, which is crazy because Pepe had a ridiculous number of holders. We can pull up their bubble maps. I swear I'm going to see Bonk even at the Bitcoin conference next week. It's just going to happen. They always are renting trucks to drive around saying Bonk or something like that. If not, they're sponsoring huge events or whatever. Yeah. The only thing I don't like about this new bubble maps update is it's so slow. It's incredibly slow. Like, look at this. It's crazy. Obviously, Bonk, great distribution. They do have some concentrated supplies that Bubble Maps is not aware of who they are. Usually when you're in something this big, a lot of the top holders are exchanges or dexes or whatever. So like, you know, here we've got Binance is the biggest holder. And then number 7, you got Bybit, Bitum, another Bybit wallet. So these exchanges will have multiple wallets that they'll hold it in. Not only that, they usually have some form of like treasury wallet. Not even just the project, like, you know, an exchange will have a cold storage for projects because if their hot wallet gets hacked, they don't want them all to go. So, you know, and then Uniswap, well, not for this, like Radium or Orca, there'll be a big LP on here for sure, but it's not showing up. So, yeah. But Bonk, I think it's an easy one. That's more likely to do a 10x than Pepe, in my opinion. Okay. Brett. So here you go, Clinton. Or Clifton. I apologize, Clifton. We're going to get into Brett. Brett's actually the white dude on the thumbnail. I was having a hard time and I was running out of time. So Brett was the only one I couldn't get right. So he's a white guy. Let's see. Brett, we've got an all-time high of 2.27. Down, man, they came down so much with all that FUD too. Like during this drop here, they were just getting hammered with FUD, and it just like it took them out. bad. They got 806,000 holders. Obviously, they're the biggest meme coin on base. I think they might also be the strongest or the biggest project period on base. Or Aerodome might be up there. Oh, Virtual passed them. That's what it is. And Virtual only recently had a resurgence to get no. Virtuals, yeah, they're still bigger, but they recently had a really good pump, so that's probably why they're bigger than them. But Aerodome, hot on their tails. Yeah, I've never been a big Brett fan. Not gonna lie. Honestly, I don't like Boys Club. I think it's overplayed. It's boring. There's disputes with trademarks and everything. Yeah, it's just not really my cup of tea. But we'll give credit where credit is due. Brett is the biggest meme on Coinbase or on base. I don't think they will get listed on Coinbase though. There's some truth to some of the FUD around Brett. I don't really feel like getting into it all. It's like the team basically has upwards of 80% of the supply, and they sell into pumps and all this other stuff. A lot of people say that's why Brett will never get listed by Coinbase, is because of that. And then it became known and well known at that. So yeah. What bubble maps am I using? I'm using this bubblemaps.io. I just dropped it in the YouTube chat. And actually, they did add in something where, yeah, so like we can hit this magic nodes button, it'll go create a bunch more links. Yeah, see, it's pretty cool. So basically, the more like as wallets are interacting with each other, what it's doing now is instead of them before having to have like 5 or 10 different interactions with each other where they're sending, you know, cash back and forth or tokens back and forth. I think now, since I can't find it out, I'm assuming what this is like anytime they've interacted with another wallet and the chain that's gone through. So like they're sending Brett, will say that like this is the main node right here, and they're sending it here and then sending it there and then sending it there and so on and so forth, right? They're splitting up their supply. So I like the idea behind it, but there's obvious holes too. Some of these projects, especially as we get further down the list, it's harder to judge the smaller projects in that way, because especially if it's a team member or something and they're being paid out, like it's going to look like they have association with that wallet, but in reality, they're just being paid a wage or something like that. So there's some issues with it. Another thing that Bubble Maps did, this is not a Bubble Maps ad, but they kind of added a price chart. I guess that's kind of cool. Doesn't say all-time high or anything. Considering this is mostly used for shit coins, they should have that on there. Also, if you guys haven't yet, I do have a new free community. So the first link in the YouTube description is that. So it's just a Telegram chat. Feel free to hop in there. I think Cass with the Sass is also going to drop it in chat for anybody that wants to check it out. All right, now we're getting into these low cap meme coins. Brett, oh yeah, Brett. What do I think Brett can do? Where'd it go? They've got really thin liquidity too. But I don't think Brett does the 10x. I disagree with that. I'm going to stick true to my guns that I don't like Brett. I could see Brett getting to like 2.5, 3. I don't think it's got the steam in it. So there's my thoughts on Brett. Now, Peipei. Now we're getting into, he thinks that these are 1000x plays. Peipei is something that I am slightly familiar with, and that is because of the long ago Dirty Degen days. Talked about Peipei. I think we even held it in the show wallet for a bit. It should be. Now that's the question. I'm assuming that he's talking about this BNB one because that's the popular one. Man, let's zoom in. Doing it a disservice there. Now, what Twitter? No, I mean the Twitter's right here. All right, no, so I am a little bit familiar with Peipei. People were shilling it to us like crazy last year. It's been around for almost a year now. So yeah, like back in here and everything, we were getting shilled it constantly. Yeah, I think it was actually before this run up to like 30 mil that they hit. Oh no, they started out higher. Yeah, this chart's terrible. This chart's really bad. You know, I'm not a big fan of BNB either. I don't think that BNB's got a very strong meme space. Uh, but Peipei does have some recognition, I guess. It's been around for a while. The community is big. But look at this volume. Volume's basically non-existent. Is there a pancake swap V3 now? That might be why. Oh, yeah, no, that's a different one. He could be talking about this ETH one too. This one actually has volume. Let's assume he's talking about this one. We'll go with the biggest one of the ones that, because they don't even, I don't think they have links. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't scroll down this far. I didn't. Yeah, they don't even tell you which one it is. Previously had a market cap of 163 million. So did this one go that high? Probably. I'm on hourly. Yeah, it's this one. This one's on ETH. Not a huge ETH fan. Got 56,000 holders on it. This is the one that we bought. Now I'm remembering because I scoffed at having to send ETH to ETH instead of base. The friendly red frog. So it's just a copycat of Pepe. They're still getting pretty good numbers here, though. Really good numbers, actually. Never heard of that guy, but he's super excited about it. They just take all the Pepe memes and change it to Peipei. So there's nothing too exciting there. Is their website a copy? If I'm going to give them the 1000x if it's a straight copy of Pepe's, but it's not. Oh wait, maybe it is. No, it's not. They've got a floors link in here and exchanges. More listings on the way. That's what they always say. A lot of it actually is like Pepe's though. Like this is exactly stolen from Pepe. The phase one Pepe vibe and hodl. Yeah, that's completely stolen. This is also slightly stolen. Well, let's check out the bubble maps. Loading. Think I'm on dial up or something. Fine distribution, at least it looks like here. Let's turn on the magic nodes and see what magic says about it. Look at that. So they're saying it's showing the top 250 holders, and then with the magic nodes, it added 174 more wallets. That's a lot of wallets. Oh, I don't want that. Let's see how the holders look here. Sometimes it's just easier to scroll like this. It's not bad because these are exchanges. I don't like, again, I don't like Matt Fury, or it's not that I don't like Matt Fury. I'm bored and exhausted of the Boys Club and Pepe remakes and all this other crap. Not only that, I don't think anybody wants to go trade on ETH, especially when the market's really hot. They're not going to be trading on ETH and buying Peipei. I would give them, I'd give them like a 10 to 15x. No way are they getting 1000x. How much? That's, yeah, no, that's not happening. That's going to multitudes of billions of dollars. There's no chance at all. So we're going to say no chance at all on Peipei. Hey, Mikey Spliff, welcome in. Wallet. I don't have any commands to pull up anything like that, but if you let me know what specifically you are looking for, I will try to help you. I know a lot of new viewers might be coming in due to my MetaMask wallet video that got a bunch of traction overnight. So if it's that, I will try to help you. Otherwise, happy to talk about other wallets or whatever you may need to know. Troll. Now, this is another one I'm not familiar with. So even better. Doesn't give me anything to help me pick out what it could be either. We're just shooting from the hip here. It could be this. I think it had was the name just Troll? Oh man. Modest market cap around 6 million. Okay, so it's not this one. It's the other one that I saw. It's another ETH one. Why? Why does this guy like ETH so much? All right, so we've got Troll. On the daily, they hit an all-time high of, they shot up to 127. That was at the beginning of 2024, a year ago. They haven't caught any steam since. They've had a couple relief bounces, basically. I mean, it's been almost a year since they've cracked 34 mil. So that's not great. I know nothing about this project. Their holder breakdown, not great, but these could be exchanges. I saw something about ease of access, so they're probably on exchanges. Guess who will know? Bubble maps. Not much, Mikey. Just checking out some memes. If you got anything specific you want me to check out, just let me know. So yeah, I was right. Those top 3 ones, all exchanges. You know, the problem with seeing so much of a supply on these exchanges is it shows you that nobody wants it. Even when the price gets really cheap, nobody wanted it. Yeah. 129 wallets added in. I mean, you've got some big clusters here. Like, this is a big cluster. If it lets me grab any of them. It's such a big cluster that it broke the screen. So I guess that is what it is. Let's check out their Twitter and their website. Close some of this crap out. 11,000 followers. The Troll X channel. They've got a fake tweet. Oh, I guess they were hoping to get an Elon Musk pump. That was of this year. And it did not work. So they got some merch. I mean, it's a very recognizable meme. But again, this is the exact reason why the one on ETH is worth, or the one on Solana is almost worth double. And that one's only been around for a month. This has 14,000 holders. They've got NFTs, a bunch of listings. Half of their supply is in listings. This website also is basically a spitting image of Pepe. Their roadmap is just getting holders and Telegram members and stuff. All the money or all the tokens went into the LP and then they must have bought them to give to exchanges or something. Yeah. I'm going to say it's a huge no for me. There's no way that this project does a 1000x. That's sending it to $6 billion. This project will not get 1000x. But the other trolls I want to check out because it's on Solana. And it's bigger. Oh crap, it's a troll. It's also down pretty bad today too. But they have like 100x the volume of the other one. That other one just was dead. I don't know. Oh man, this actually had a good run up to 40 mil. This one, that's that pretty typical Solana dying pattern. Yeah, we don't need to spend any time with that. Now we're getting into some super tiny ones. Oh, he said those were 100x. Okay. I definitely don't think it gets 100x either. And I skipped Bells. Bellscoin. Bellscoin has been around for like frickin' ever. It's not even on here. That's how long Bellscoin has been around for. It's like one of the first memes ever created. Yep. Oh wait, I was thinking a different one then. This one's not the super old one. Like I said, I didn't read into these beforehand. Straight off the dome. All right. Well, I know a lot of influencers talk about Bellscoin. I've never truly understood why, because yeah, their website's very loud. Doge Daddy, Bellscoin. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, created by Dogecoin Dev. Bellscoin U is merged mined with Litecoin. So when you mine Litecoin, you get Dogecoin and you get Bellscoin. Yeah. I don't think Chester's in here anymore. Otherwise, I'd ask him how much Bellscoin he has because he probably has a boatload. So yeah, it's kind of got that same Doge feel. Yeah, see, and there you go. That's what I was talking about. Merge mining, Litecoin, Doge, Bellscoin. Yay. Yeah, Bellscoin is fine. It's okay. The chart's terrible, but this website's also way too huge. I'm not going through this whole website. This is insane. I'm finally at the bottom. There's no even take me back to the top button. At least they straight up say that they don't have any association with Animal Crossing. The website's huge. All right, so we've got Nintendo is one of their explorers. That's hilarious. No association, Nintendo. Yeah, you can download a node. These are different wallets that you can mine it with and hold it with. Different exchanges. Yeah, you know what? I like deep in projects and mining and stuff. I wouldn't mine Litecoin, but I guess. It's at 18 mil, 1000x. We're going to see it go to 1.8 billion. I don't know. I would say like 400 or 500 million. That'd be about it. There's a lot of influencers that do talk about it. It's all-time high at 96 mil. Dabatola thinks there's going to be some legs on Bellscoin. Well, we'll have to see. I don't think it's doing 1000x, but yeah, like you said, miners are pushing it hard. You know, like I said, it's a lot of deep in influencers that talk about Bellscoin, so it makes sense. Yeah, I don't know if you just got here, Scott. I found this article that is this guy's got different projects for basically 10 to 1000x return. So for 10x, you had Pepe, Bonk, Barrett. For 100x, you had okay, Bell's at 100x. Still no. But then next we're getting into the 1000x's, but still no on 100x for me. But I'd say like 50x. I could see it doing maybe 50x if we get a good solid altcoin run and those guys are still talking about it. Maybe, yeah, but otherwise, no. All the miners that are getting it are mining it and selling it for the most part. So like even a lot of these influencers I'm talking about are doing the same thing. They're mining it, you're propping the price up, and they're selling it. So, I mean, it's just truth. But, all right, what else do we have? I can't pull up Bellscoin on bubble maps. That's not going to work. So now we've got meme games, WTF. Never heard of this. This is a 1000x one. It's at 1.6 million. Oh wow, it actually had a nice run up. I don't know though. This is on the daily, so it wouldn't be because of this article I'm reading. In fact, the article likely had no impact at all. Chart doesn't look terrible for $1 million project on Solana. Yeah, that doesn't look bad. They got 2,600 holders. Supply is pretty distributed as well. They are a pump.fun project too, in case I didn't bring that up. We're computing forever. Distribution here looks solid too, but I want to hit the magic node button. Only 90 on this one. It doesn't look bad. A lot of these are just split off from one and stuff like that. So no, it doesn't look bad. But what do they do? Because their name makes me wonder if they do more. Oh man, this is going to be a really... I don't want to connect a wallet. I don't like that. The moment that I opened up the site, it tried to connect a wallet. About us. Apparently you can play games on here. I figured out that much. Okay. So quick bursts of games or of joy. So games. These are actually getting some plays. Like this one's almost got 1,000. A lot of these have over 100 at least, and they're all just based on different memes. So not confused or anything like that. It all makes sense. They're doing something around Greg. Okay, cool. They got a lot going on here. Trying to see. Yeah, so they will have WTF token will be a utility token. So this is not a meme coin. And what's not great, you don't have anything about tokenomics in here or anything. Nothing looked alarming on the supply. Games aren't crazy hot. Arguably, the game that I support or the gaming platform that I support, Metacade, is like the hottest gaming project there is right now in terms of stability and everything like that. And they're only at 30 million. So what this project can do, it's a little concerning. But I mean, if you can play these on your phone and stuff, you don't have to pay to play, all that. Like, can I play without even connecting a wallet? Because I'm definitely not going to do that. Unity browser games. All right, I can play. The music was loud, and I apologize. You know, I like it. Definitely not 1000x. I'd give it 100x. It's at 1.8 million on Solana. If things get hot, they're still around. I haven't dug into the community or anything like that. I haven't dug into the team. There's a lot more things that I would typically go into. If I wasn't going over 17 projects tonight, I would do that. But yeah, I'm gonna say like a 50, 100x. Games just aren't that hot. Depends on how accessible they are on mobile. I can see a lot of Solana people playing on their phone. Um, if they can get a good play loop and stuff like that, like they're talking about with the consumables, maybe it'll work out if they've got some buy and burn mechanism or whatever. They have no tokenomics on their site, so I can only assume that they are hopefully going to try to do it the right way. But them getting to 1.6 billion is not on my bingo card for this cycle. All right. We love legs. This one's going 1000x for sure. No, I don't know. I've never seen it before, but I do love legs. We love legs. He does state that this one's going 1000x, and I don't know if it's this one, if it's the right one. Okay, so it is indeed this one. This is a 217 or 241,000 market cap project that's been out for a month, not even 3 weeks, 2 weeks. I love legs, so let's look at it. This reminds me of all the other projects like this that have tried to do this, and it hasn't worked. 100% rug proof. That's very it's very terrifying. Where's their oh, there's their X link. Nobody I'm following is following it. These posts get zero traction. They're like a cheap copycat to Titcoin. This is Titcoin. Actually has followers, and that's what they post. So it's just a lower copycat to Titcoin. Except Titcoin already has a much higher market cap. This We Love Legs project is going nowhere. This is not going to $240 million. In fact, I bet before the month is over, it will be abandoned. So there's my thoughts on We Love Legs. Then we got Moonbag. I love legs. I don't love those legs, though. They were nice legs. Not my legs. So now we got Moonbag. This is another tiny one, 258K. Never heard of it. The irony is Titcoin has legs too. Well, not really. Yeah, those ones did, especially. Come on, what's happening? What is it doing? Oof, it's down 20% today. Retire early, grab a Moonbag. You know, if that's the thought you're embedding on people, it typically doesn't work. We actually have some stuff to look at here, though. We got 1,300 holders. All-time high of a whopping, we'll give it the wig. We'll give it the wig. All-time high of nearly 420,000. Unfortunately, they only managed to squeeze out 419K, though. Right here, their distribution looks good. They are pump fun. And oh, I'm like, where's the contract address? computing. Okay, this looks like a rug when you look at it like this. Typically, this is a very good sign of bundling. Just how it looks. But let's turn on the magic nodes and maybe we'll get a better idea. Definitely some bundling. These are typically good signs of a bundle right here. Now I wanted to pull it out. So you got 65K transfers there. It could also be a treasury of some sort, but it's a pump fund, so. Oh, this address is a supernode, so. So basically, they do high volume. They've got over 2,500 transactions. Is it what? Oh no, maybe. Moonbag. See their Twitter and their website. This is 1,000% ChatGPT. They've made me stuff like that before. That part might not be. I can't scroll. This is the website. Oh, they're another one that says 100% rug proof. Trust nothing that says they're 100% rug proof. Represents freedom from the daily grind. Isn't that just supposed to be crypto as a whole? On that note, I think that about wraps up tonight's stream. Moonbag is not doing 1,000x. In fact, this article looks like exit liquidity to me. So if there's anything else you guys want to talk about, go ahead and throw them in the chat and I'll spend a few minutes checking them out. Otherwise, we've gone on for nearly an hour now. So I'll go ahead and close things up and hopefully see you guys tomorrow. Appreciate you guys all tuning in and hanging out though. Clifton wants to check out Say. Say, what do you say? I actually talked about Say for Cryptos Are Us Patreon update a couple weeks back. One sec, I'm just closing out these 100 tabs. There we go. How is Say looking? What do you say? I do think so. What I recall from the update that I saw before was their volume and bridge TVL and stuff like that was all increasing, which is really good. And by volume, I don't mean like their spot market volume. I mean like their DeFi volume. I want to look at their DeFi llama. When am I going live on Cryptos R Us? I am not anymore. I am only going live here. However, for the Cryptos R Us Patreon, I do also do some videos for that. So I put out a video a week for that. So yeah, their TBL has just been taking off, which is a really good sign that you want to see. Their stablecoin volumes was starting to pick up some more too. Or no, that was their DEX volume. Sorry, and then their stablecoins were picking up too. Yeah, it's basically at all-time high. So that's also very healthy. I do like Say long term. I don't think it's going to have like a huge pump right now, but a lot of things that we're seeing with Say right now are the same things that we saw basically before SWE had its big run not long ago. So I'm hoping that we see something similar like that with Say. Now, Say actually pivoted a good bit. I don't know if it was a pivot, but I guess it surprised me. Originally, when they launched and came out of nowhere, they weren't a gaming focused chain, but like 95% of their volume and network activity is from games right now. They're like blowing up as a gaming chain. That, and then they're going to focus on AI too. So games, again, like I was talking about earlier, not so hot right now, but the layer ones that they run on can be, right? Think about Avalanche. Avalanche has a ton of games on it, and the games don't do great, but Avalanche does okay. It's a top project. So arguably, yeah, it's top 10 layer one project. So yeah, it's doing great. Say could follow in those footsteps. They've got a lot of big brained people behind it. Let's just put it that way. I don't know if they've had any announcements come out in the last little while here. There hasn't been any that I've seen, but that doesn't mean I didn't miss something. Yeah, they got their Giga layer that they're going to be launching soon, which is going to be interesting. They're basically going away from Move and into EVM, which, as much as I talk crap about ETH and everything, I think that's a genius move for them. Not a lot of projects want to integrate with non EVM projects. So that's why like Sui didn't get a huge ecosystem right from the start, and only recently has it started getting like decentralized storage plays, hardware loaning, or whatever it may be. Sui is finally getting it, but Say never got it at all, so they're making the switch to EVM. I think that's a good change for them, and they claim they'll be the world's fastest EVM. We'll see. I think with this change, Say is well positioned for this bull run. I could see them doing like a 25x. You were hoping to get George and I into a robe. I think that the episode I did with him, I was wearing a robe, but he was not. I don't remember. But no problem. Feel free to throw anything at me anytime and I'll check it out. But on that note, I am going to go ahead and wrap it up. That was a long stream. I got some things to get into. Zealous, I will check out Zealous tomorrow night on stream. I'll do some looking into it beforehand. I remember what you said about it, and I actually want to prepare for that one, not just look at it blindly. Only memes do I really like to look at blindly, or I'm fine with looking at projects too, but memes are easier. So yeah, I'll pull that up on tomorrow night's stream. I didn't get a chance to look into that today. You guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. Smash up the likes, subscribe to the channel, check out the free community that's in the links in the description. Cast with the Sass room and chat as well. I'll see you guys tomorrow. See you next time. Peace.